In the last few weeks, we've been able to call bottoms and tops, pullbacks, and all-time highs on the QQQ in the markets. In this video, we're going to get into the QQQ, the SPY, and the IWM, and we're going to talk about where they are sitting right now and what I think is coming next. So let's get into it. So as you see right here on the screen, we have QQQ pulled up, which basically is your index fund for the NASDAQ 100. So with this, we have this symmetrical triangle pattern, and it's not a rising or it's not an ascending triangle just because of this little bit of a slope. But really, you can honestly call it an ascending triangle or a symmetrical triangle. It really doesn't matter too much. But we had this high, we had this pullback, had a higher low, another pullback to this area, another pullback to this area after higher. We had a break, we had a pullback down beneath it into the support box, and now we are breaking back out over it. So the biggest thing you have to know about these breakouts is you need to understand what's going on in the markets, and you need to understand you need to give this a little bit of wiggle room, right? So you have this big pullback down into here, but if you look right here and right here, you had a lot of wick action, and that means we had a lot of resistance pushing down, pushing down, pushing down, pushing down, right? And when you have a lot of resistance here, when you finally break out over that resistance then comes back, or that breakout comes back down to retest that prior resistance and create support. And as you see right here, we retested very nicely. That's why I was saying 493. I can't really see us going any farther than that to the downside, because we have this prior resistance now turning into support. And you see this week, like I said, we are getting a nice bounce in the market and pushing higher. Now, it could take this week and next week to overcome this all-time high here and to push us back over into all-time high. But there's one catalyst this week that could get us there before Friday. You guessed it. That's NVIDIA earnings tomorrow. So NVIDIA earnings tomorrow is such a key factor in where we go in the markets. They're so heavily weighted in the QQQ, and they also have such a ripple effect and sentiment effect on all other AI names or semiconductor names, which a lot of them are in the NASDAQ 100 and the SPY and the IWM. And it's just like a market-wide thing with AI, obviously. So very, very huge earnings tomorrow. We've already had amazing earnings from all big tech. So yes, that's great, but it really comes down to NVIDIA and what they report. So we will find out tomorrow, and it'll be a big day. So stay tuned for that. That's going to drive whether we go up or we come down here and it was a false breakout. We come down here and break down to maybe back down to 493 or maybe even lower down to this volume shelf at 480-ish. But anyways, back to predicting the markets and where they're going now. That plays into it, the NVIDIA earnings. So that's definitely a key driver. We're still green here. I know it shows red, but we're just in a consolidation pattern. You see we broke down here, but like I always say, as long as you're in the consolidation pattern on the trend and on the Williams R, you are good. And we are good on our RSI, and we are good on our MACD. So I know it's flashing red. It's just a false it's just a false signal. It's mainly because of this little down tick, right? But it's not true. And due to this little down tick right here, it hasn't registered back that we're good, and we're just in consolidation on the stochastic. So we're still technically green on this. On our high five setup indicator, still green, coming back down here. Like I said, retesting this support, have this nice volume shelf right here, have this nice little support box. This is the 9 EMA on the high five setup indicator as well. So yeah, we're sitting here, we're bouncing pretty nicely. Already retested support. Not just that, but I was able to call out all-time highs because we got this bounce, right? We got that bounce there. So I said, you know what? We're a little getting down to the downside. We're bouncing off all these indicators and the bottom of this. So we're about to get a push higher. That's why I was able to predict that. And then I said, well, we're getting up here, smashing into this red line that goes all the way back, right? And with the Williams R, you know, when you hit up here, you can expect either consolidation sideways or you can expect a pullback. What do we get? We got this massive pullback that I called the week prior. And then last week I was talking about, um, you know, okay, now we're down here, right? Now we're on the floor. I think we're going to get another bounce and we're in this bounce area, support area. So I think we get a bounce this week and we're getting a bounce this week. So that's how the Williams R and the high five setup all play together in predicting markets. I think we're going to go higher, and within the next 2 weeks we'll be at all-time highs, barring that Nvidia comes out and doesn't just ruin the party. If Nvidia comes out and doesn't crush it, or X, Y, or Z, you know, they're going to ruin the party for the whole market. I'll just be honest. It's going to be a bigger pullback in the market until things settle down and then we march on higher. But yeah, so let's hope Nvidia has good earnings tomorrow, guys. So here again, we have a symmetrical triangle pattern. We had a breakout. We almost had a retest, but we didn't fully have a retest. We stopped right here at our second level of 586 on the SPY, which follows the S&P 500. We are red also, but as I'll show you in the consolidation pattern, not quite there on the RSI, but if you look at it, we're in this consolidation pattern too. And then finally, we are good to go on the MACD. So still good, in my opinion, on the high five. I know we're flashing red. We do have two indicators going against us, but like I said, this isn't really going against us. It'd be going against us if we broke down here, if we broke down up here, and this was still like this. Okay. So just how I read things on these indicators and on my strategy. So we had a breakout, we had this pullback, and now we have this push upward. We have this shelf that we're launching off of, the smaller shelf. We have this nice little gap right here, as you can see. So we should push back up to 594 to 600 pretty seamlessly this week. Again, barring that NVIDIA doesn't ruin the party. And up here, you know, we broke up. We came down our first pullback. That's our support. We ran up, came back, tested that support again. Still good to go. And like I said, as long as we go sideways in here in our consolidation box, the stock or the S&P 500, the SPY, will continue to climb higher. Not without pullbacks, right? But it'll continue to climb higher due to the consolidation box. Finally, the IWM. This is probably one of the nicest setups. The IWM has been a laggard of the NASDAQ and the SP 500 this entire last few years. And as you can see, we have this beautiful cup and handle pattern. We are green on our high five indicator. Beautiful cup and handle. We had this nice breakout right here, followed by this beautiful pullback. And what do we have now on day one? Or 2 days into the week, we have this beautiful hammer candle. A hammer candle is essentially a bullish indicator that the uptrend is going to continue higher, right? And also you had this nice ascending triangle pattern that you broke out of. And like I said, you came back, retested it. Now you have this beautiful hammer pattern, which is a bullish continuation candlestick. And yeah, I think, you know, the measured moves are pretty enormous. We're looking at $258. And then for the cup and handle, we're looking at a $306-ish on our cup and handle measured move. And we bounced up here on the Williams R as well. We did break support a little bit, but looking at everything, noticing that our trend didn't, or our high five didn't change, you know, I'm just going to move the bar down a tad. and say that's our new support. It's okay. If it really would have broke, it would have broke big time, right? So still good, getting that bounce right there, continuing sideways, continuing higher, bouncing off where we're supposed to be bouncing off the retest area. And also our high 5 setup is pushing higher. Have this little bit of a volume shelf we are launching off of to all-time highs. Yep, we already got all-time highs, so getting back above that to all-time highs. So, yep, that's what I'm seeing in the markets right now. I think we're going to continue higher, barring NVIDIA poopy earnings and just ruining the party. So, let's go NVIDIA. Let's go Jensen Huang. Don't ruin the bull market. Don't ruin this awesome party we're having and the gains we're making. So, that's all I got, guys. Let me know what you think about this analysis on the markets, and I'll catch you in the next one.